Welcome to Wisdom of the World. Today's story is about not keeping one's promise. It's a well-known story from Germany, and it's called The Pied Piper of Hamelin. And it goes like this. Just imagine living in a town which is totally overrun by rats. Rats in the streets, rats in the gardens, rats everywhere. Rats in the town hall, in the police station, in the hospital. Rats in the bars, in the restaurants, and in the library. Rats at school, in the corridors, in the classrooms, and even in your desk. Rats at home, in your kitchen, in the bathroom, and in your bed. That is what living in Hamelin was like, that beautiful village along the river Wesel. Nobody knew how the rats had come there, and nobody knew how they actually managed to overtake the town. But people were desperate to get rid of them. People couldn't even eat. There were always rats nibbling also from their plate. When they got dressed, they'd had to shake out their clothes. There were rats inside. Or when they wanted to put their babies to bed, they had to first clear out the rats that were also curled up there. People couldn't even talk to each other because there was so much squeaking and squirting around, so much noise. So you understand why the mayor of the town put up a sign next to the town hall which said, "A reward of 1,000 guildens for anyone who can get rid of the rats." 1,000 guildens, that's a lot of money, 3 times the annual salary of the mayor. In today's terms, that'd be like $150,000. Now, a lot of people were thinking what to do with that money, but nobody had any idea how to get rid of the rats. So you can imagine that when a stranger knocked on the door of the town hall and the mayor was panic-stricken. So he didn't pay too much attention to the person when he came in and he said, "I can get rid of your rats." The mayor was delighted, and also he didn't really thought much of the multicolored clothes of that person and his long fingers and the funny little sort of pipe that he had hang around his chest. And he also didn't pay attention to the sad smile in the face of the stranger. He just said, "When can you start?" And the stranger replied, "Right now." And he left the town hall and he put his flute to his lips and he played a very sort of lilting tone, a hypnotic tune. And all the rats sat up, they pricked up their ears and they listened. For the first time, it was quiet, just for a moment, in the town of Hamelin. And then the noise broke out and all the rats started going towards that strange man with the flute. So from the rooftops, from the staircases, from the houses, from the alleys, from everywhere, the rats scurried to follow the man with the flute playing the hypnotic tune. And he took him right along the river Wesel. And at a certain moment he put his multicolored foot into the river. And at that moment, from the banks of the river, thousands and thousands of rats also fell into the water, followed him into the water, and started spluttering around. And he didn't stop playing until the last rat had drowned. People were celebrating in the streets and dancing with joy, hugging each other. And the stranger quietly went back to the town hall and said to the mayor, 1,000 guilders, if you please. And the mayor, he gave him what he thought was his most charming smile, and he said, well, 1,000 guilders is maybe a little over the top, for you playing a nice tune for a little while, and don't you agree? Why don't we just say 50 guilders, and I give you a nice bronze medal, and we can have a statue made of you and me in the center of the market square. Without saying a word, the stranger turned around and again went outside. And again he lifted his pipe to his mouth and he started playing a tune, a very different tune this time, a very enchanting tune. And all the children leapt up and danced and frolicked and started following him, one after the other. And he led, in front of the parents' horrified eyes, they saw their children following this man along the river Razel, up a mountaintop, on a little path that everybody had forgotten. And then with a special tune, a door appeared in the mountain, and through that door all the children went and went and went, and the people could hear their laughter going softer and softer, and then all of a sudden the door was shut and disappeared. All the children were gone except one little boy who had a problem with his foot and he couldn't keep up, and he was still standing there on the path, calling out to his friends. All the people were horrified. They never saw the stranger again, and also not their children. And never was there any rat anymore ever seen in the town of Hamelin. Now, the message of this story obviously is, think before you make a promise. And once you've made a promise, stick to it. Thank you.